Ah, okay.
It's live now on YouTube as well.
I'm starting the video.
Oh yeah.
Hola. Lots of people are arriving.
Everyone.
Hello, everybody. Ah, okay.
It's live now on YouTube as well.
I'm starting the video.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Vincent tells me I have to start, so I will start with saying, dear all, dear friends, good afternoon, or good morning, or good evening, or even good night, depending on where you are right now. So my name is Pierre Cornu, and I'm the president of the CIS Council. It's a great pleasure for me to welcome you to this very special, I must say, graduation ceremony of the FIFA Master 20th edition. It's a very special occasion indeed, because instead of sitting together right now, in the castle of Neuchâtel, where we used to hold the graduation ceremonies, we are now at home or anywhere else except for the Neuchâtel castle. And we have to share this ceremony through electronic means. But I would suggest that we forget the virus for a while and enjoy the present time. I would like to first welcome the members of the FIFA Masters Scientific Committee representing the universities who participated in the program. Professors Martin Poli and Pierre Lafranchi from de Montfort University in Leicester, Professors Dino Ruta and Marco Elefanti from the SDA Bocconi School of Management in Milan, and Professors Antonio Rigozzi, Petros Mavroidis, and Sébastien Besson from the University of Neuchâtel. The CIS is extremely proud to be associated with these universities and professors and to share a little piece of their prestige. This 20th edition has required very special efforts by our colleagues and friends of the scientific committee, who had to find emergency solutions and then to deal with the fast and very difficult to foresee evolution of the health situation. They did it, many thanks to them. In a moment, we'll be with a very special guest, who will be Mr. Arsène Wenger, patron of this 20th edition. Probably there's no need to introduce a football legend like him, but I will do so later before he addresses the students. Welcome also to the president of the FIFA Master Alumni Association, Mr. Martin Kasboom, whom I don't see on my screen, but never mind, he's around. The association he represents is a very important and valuable partner for us. I would also like to welcome the FIFA Master, the CIS team, represented in particular today by Professor Denis Oswald, CIS Director, and Mr. Vincent Schatzman, CIS General Secretary. I must say that the CIS team has worked extremely hard this year to deal with the constant changes in the health situation and the 1,000 or even more issues that this situation raised. The CIS team did a fantastic job. Great thanks to all of you. Of course, a special welcome must be extended to our students' family members. Dear families, you haven't seen much of the students during the first 6 months of the program. They were in Leicester, then they were in Milan. In the last 4 months, You've probably seen much more of these students, in many cases, even at your own home. I will not try to guess which of these times was harder for you. Anyway, you're with us today, and we're grateful for this. And of course, a very warm and special welcome to our fine and bright students. These students, today is a special day, even if we're not physically together to celebrate. You've joined the FIFA Master Program after going through the selection process. Arsène Wenger said once, when asked about the way he selected his players, and in particular about the multiple nationalities of these players, he said, "I don't look at the passport of people. I look at their quality and at their attitude." This is, I can say, exactly what our scientific committee did when selecting your class. Your quality, your attitude entitled you to participate in the FIFA Master. You've gone through an extensive program. Some of you, unfortunately, had to follow the Neuchâtel lectures during the night, according to the time zones they were in. I remember at my lectures seeing some quite tired faces of students who were up at 2 in the morning just to attend the lecture live. You've made the extra effort. Well done. You passed the exams, and now you're ready to enter, or for some of you to re-enter, the world of sports. Success is not guaranteed. But remember, again, it's Arsène Wenger's words, when he said, "Don't be scared to be ambitious. It's not a humiliation to have a high target and to fail. The real humiliation is to have a target and not to give everything to reach it. Be ambitious." These students, you're a team, and you're going to join other teams during your professional careers. You'll succeed if you use your quality, if you work hard, and if you show team spirit. Here too, I would like to refer again to Arsène Wenger, who said, "I believe team spirit is a bit like a flower. You have to take care of it and look after it every day, or else it will slowly die. But as well, you can make the flower bigger, better, and prettier if you care for it." These students show team spirit and carefully look after the people you're going to work with. For me, it's a bit heartbreaking not to have you in Neuchâtel today, but anyway, we wish you the best in the new life that now begins for you. Enjoy the moment. And now it's time to see and listen to a video message from our long-standing and very committed FIFA partner. Without the lasting and most generous support of FIFA, the CIS and the FIFA Master Program would not exist as they do today, and we're extremely grateful. In today's ceremony, FIFA is represented by no less than its distinguished president, Mr. Gianni Infantino, who cannot be with us live today, but still wanted to convey a message to our students with a video we're going to share with you. He began his career as a sports lawyer and manager, being a legal counsel at the CIS in Neuchâtel. His achievements after this first job are just fantastic, need no comment, because obviously you all know about them. Let's look at the video.
Dear students of the 20th edition of the FIFA Master, dear friends of the CIES, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, good night, wherever you are in the world. It is a great pleasure for me to say a few words to all of you. First of all, I hope that you and your families are in good health in this particular time. I think it is the most important thing for all of us. Well, today for all of you is a very unique day, and you have to be proud of what you have achieved in the last year. Today marks certainly the end of a chapter, but at the same time as well, the beginning of a very exciting story, the story of your lives, which you can write with the background that you have learned as well in the last year at the Master. I know it has not been easy for you, as for many people around the world, because we all faced an unexpected and unprecedented situation. I know that after your first part in Leicester, you started in Milan, you spent a few weeks in Milano, and then finally you couldn't travel to Neuchâtel for the last part of your master due to the COVID-19 pandemic outbreak. But of course, it's just, as the French say, partie remise, is just for soon, because I'm sure that you will be able to come to Switzerland very soon. And at FIFA, we will wait for you. There is the traditional football match that we'll have to play, that we want to play, because we need at FIFA to start winning against the CIS, but I hear that you are also all very fit, so it will be a tough game. I'm waiting for you. I know as well that you are a very heterogeneous class with 32 students from 31 nationalities. You are almost as diverse as FIFA. We have a few more member associations, 211 from all over the world. But you are quite international, and that's exactly what this master is about. I heard as well that your dissertations and presentations of yesterday were of very high quality. Congratulations also for that. You speak about, or you spoke about the fight against racism, about fans, about spectators, which are really the soul of all our sports, about women's football, which is definitely booming, about national team eligibility criteria, which is something that is important for FIFA in this particular time as well. So these and other topics deserve my congratulation to all of you. And today, a new journey starts for you, because you will join the over 600 alumni around the world. Almost 10% of those are working in FIFA, and I'm proud of that, because this was definitely one of the challenges that some people, when they created this master, had in their mind, and I'm happy and proud that this is coming into fruition. Let me share with you, if you still have a couple of minutes, a personal story that I think is important for your life, because you arrive at the moment of your life where you finish an important course, you start or restart your professional life, and it's not going to be easy, even if you have now a new diploma and a lot of experience. So the story I want to share with you, which is my story, is the following. When I was more or less, I think, your age, and I finished my university, I obtained my law degree. At that time, there was not yet the possibility of having a master like yours. But I was already at that time interested in sports. So what I did was I sent my CV to UEFA and to FIFA, asking them if they had a job for me. Since both UEFA and FIFA are organizations, associations which are based in Switzerland, of course, their HR people were very, very diligent, and obviously they both replied to me, first UEFA and a bit later FIFA. And their reply to me was, dear Mr. Infantino, thank you very much for your CV. Unfortunately, we don't have a position for you, but we wish you the very best of luck for your future. This was the response I received from UEFA, and a few weeks later I received more or less the same response from FIFA. Now, 15 years after that, more or a bit less than 15 years, I was appointed General Secretary of UEFA, and a bit more than 20 years after that, I was elected President of FIFA. So you see that even if you start with what you perceive at that moment as a negative answer, it should be a motivation for you. Whatever you will face now has to be a motivation, has to be something that makes you wanting to do more, to learn more, to practice more, because that's exactly what I did. I went then to work at the CIS at that time, and was one of those who were part of the process in creating the master in which you are participating now. But it's important that one of the values, which is a core value of football certainly, but of sport I think generally, which is resilience, is a value that you take with you. You've done a lot of sacrifice to follow your course, to get your master degree. This has to go on. You have to believe always in yourself. You have to do the utmost. You don't have to let anyone bring you down by any negative response that you will receive, because with commitment, with will, with resilience, you can achieve everything. Just if you want to become FIFA president, wait a little bit, because for the moment the post is occupied. But with this in mind, congratulations again to all of you. Bravo a tous, complimenti, parabéns, enhorabuena, mabruk, and all other languages that you can think about. I'm sure I will see some of you soon, somewhere around football in the world, and I'm waiting for all of you to come and visit us here. Thank you very much. Enjoy, have fun, and celebrate. Today is a day to celebrate for all of you, so do the best. Take care. Bye-bye.
Even if he cannot be live with us today, I would like to say a big merci, Gianni, or beste Dank, Gianni, or grazie, Gianni, or anything in another of the main languages the esteemed FIFA president speaks. And it's now my great pleasure to formally introduce this 20th edition's patron, Monsieur Arsène Wenger, who is live with us, I guess, officer of the Order of the British Empire, officier de la Légion d'honneur. Nous sommes extrêmement heureux et fiers de vous avoir avec nous aujourd'hui. It's quite challenging to introduce such a monument of sports. Monument is probably the right word here, as since 2007, Mr. Wenger has his statue at the Emirates Stadium in London. Not bad. As a start, Mr. Wenger combined playing for several amateur and semi-professional teams. He combined that with academic studies at the University of Strasbourg in France, of course, where he obtained a degree of economics. He also obtained a manager's diploma. After a short period as a coach in Nancy, he joined AS Monaco Football Club in 1987, and no big surprise with such a manager, the club immediately won the league championship. He later guided AS Monaco to victory in the Coupe de France. From 94 to 96, he lived in Japan, where he coached the Nagoya Grampus 8, and in particular won the Emperor's Cup, a nice touch in our curriculum. But arguably, the defining moment in Mr. Wenger's career was when he was appointed as manager of Arsenal Football Club in 1996. In his very first press conference as Gunner's boss, he took a little dig at local rivals Tottenham Hotspurs and said, "I tried to watch the Tottenham match on television in my hotel yesterday, but I fell asleep." For sure, nobody fell asleep watching Arsenal in the years he managed the club. Only 2 years after his appointment, he led the team to a Premier League and FA Cup doublé. And when, after that, the Arsenal fans greeted a 1-1 draw with Middlesbrough with boos, he said, "If you eat caviar every day, it's difficult to return to sausages." Good sausages, by the way, but then it was back to caviar, and the club won another league and cup doublé and then retained the FA Cup. In the 2003-2004 season, he managed an Arsenal Invincibles club to an undefeated domestic league season, a feat last achieved 115 years before. After a brief period without a trophy, but a Champions League final, not so bad, Mr. Wenger guided Arsenal to 3 further FA Cup successes before stepping down as manager in 2018. In the meantime, he had been a real manager, the driving force behind the building of the Emirates Stadium, where the club had relocated. A young Arsenal supporter said once that Mr. Wenger is a dying breed of manager who genuinely cares for the club and not his personal career. And care he also did for his players. Famous players said about him that to them he was a father figure, a perfectionist who is able to understand the personality of his players and uses that to make them successful. And a gentleman and football master who taught a lot about professionalism, but also, and it's not less important, about respect. Following retirement from Arsenal in 2019, Mr. Wenger was appointed as FIFA's new chief of global football development. In this position, he is responsible for the growth and development of the sport for both men and women. Gianni said before, it's very important, the women around the world. He's also a leading authority on technical matters involved in the decision-making process on potential changes to the laws of the game. And he's the chairman of the FIFA Technical Study Group, which conducts the technical analysis of FIFA tournaments. we are absolutely sure that listening to him will be a memorable occasion, both for the graduating class, but also for their families. Merci beaucoup, Monsieur Wenger, d'être avec nous aujourd'hui. Vous avez la parole. Merci beaucoup.
Est-ce que vous m'entendez?
Très bien, merci, c'est parfait.
Thank you very much. I would just like to say that it's a big honor for me and dear class of 2020, professors and member of CIES. I'm very happy to be your patron, very happy to be with you on such a special day. I know you must feel like you have won a big game today, even though I would have preferred to meet you in person. I learned how special this journey that you have taken is, and I congratulate you for achieving this magnificent goal. It must have been a very challenging period for you and your families during this pandemic, like for all of us. But you have overcome all difficulties. I've heard as well, like Gianni said, you're an extremely international group with 31 different nationalities, and that's a record. I must say, I played one day with 11 different players from 11 different countries, and I didn't even notice it, because what is most important is how good you are and how dedicated you are. But in this case, you have beaten me quite largely. I've been told that your class has shown remarkable dedication. That is a very important quality. Huge commitment, completing all exams despite the difficulties. So I have a big respect for that. You know, but you see the winners when times are difficult. The FIFA Masters has given you the opportunity to learn a lot about all sides of football and sports, and advise you to make treasure of this a big experience and continue to grow on personal and professional level. And that's for me the most important. You're now a young group of highly respected professionals. Now it's your turn to make a name for yourself. Nobody can do that for you. I hope that with CIES, you will one day be able to visit the home of FIFA in Zurich. We'll be happy to welcome you here and have a football match even with you to see how good football players you are as well. Maybe we'll sign you forever. So once again, just congratulations and really deeply all the best for your future. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wenger. You were saying that our students would be welcome in Zurich, but anytime you want, you're most welcome in Neuchâtel. But we won't let you go just like that. And I would have a few questions for you. And the first would be for you, what is the importance of working with and understanding different cultures and nationalities?
Well, I would say for me, when you are, especially today in the modern management, what is the most important thing is personalization and open-minded. You have to be open-minded, you know. And what makes every person special is one dominant quality. And as a leader, you have to try to find that special quality in a person. Nobody of us has all the qualities, but we make our life and our success with a special quality. And that doesn't matter where you come from. And our life is success if we have an attitude, a desire to do well, and the person who can detect this special quality that you can show.
Thank you. I have another question, of course. In your opinion, what are the future main trends and challenges in football development? And how can a top sport management program as the FIFA Master help to address these trends and challenges?
Well, look, when I was a kid, the difficulty was to get information. Today, the difficulty is to sort out information because you have too many informations. And I would say the modern manager, the modern leader is a guy who can select the number of informations he gets, the right knowledge to lead people. And that is certainly one of the targets for the future. Football will continue to develop all over the world. And the future, I think people have quite clear knowledge of what is needed in any situation. That's because mastery is effectiveness. And to be effective, it's very important that you select the right data to be efficient in what you want to achieve. And that's certainly one of the challenges for the future managers.
Then maybe a last question. That would be, what is your best memory or live lessons in terms of learning?
Well, I would say I was in touch, is it in sport or in any other activities, industrial activities. I was lucky to be in touch with top people who were very successful. But I would say what I learned is that usually human people arrive very early in life at a very, very good level. We're quite in sport monsters technically more than mentally. So that is very important quality to work on. And as well, that most of people don't move too much after that anymore. That's why in my speech, I said that you have to continue to grow on personal and professional level. That is talent without suffering to get better doesn't lead you anywhere. And I would say the difference on a longer period is that by that internal burning desire that is sometimes suffering to continue to grow and develop.
Thank you very much, Mr. Wenger, for having inspired us today after inspiring generation. And it's not an insult to your age, but after inspiring generations of sports managers and athletes. And maybe as you are from Alsace, you probably understand the Swiss-German dialect. And I would like to say, es ist so schön gewesen, dass Sie zu uns gekommen sind. Ich wünsche Ihnen noch einen schönen Tag. Many thanks, Mr. Wenger, and have a good time. Thank you.
Thank you very much, and congratulations again, and all the best to everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you. Now, it's another moment. Everybody, and in particular, postgraduates, has been waiting for. And this moment is the award of the course diplomas. Mr. Vincent Schatzman, CIS General Secretary, will call the postgraduates and give the final grades, if I'm right, and the mentions. So Vincent, you may proceed, but for some technical reasons I don't understand, it will take about 15 seconds. So stay tuned, it will be coming in about 15 seconds.
So, dear students, again, good morning, good afternoon, good evening. So let's start the diplomas awarding. So first of all, I would start with the distinction. So receiving the FIFA Master Diploma with this distinction, from Philippines, Mr. Kevin Goko. Congratulations, Kevin. And now the graduates with merit. So receiving the FIFA Master Diploma with merit from the United Kingdom, Mr. James Cronin. Congratulations. From Botswana, Ziad Desai. From Australia and Italy, Stephanie Holmes. From South Korea, Isaac Wang. Let me turn the page. From Australia, Laura Jude. From Italy, Igor Markovic. From France and Japan, Alexandre Matsuo. From Rwanda, Boni Mugabe. From Palestine, Mahmoud Karakha. From the Netherlands, Evita Schippers. From Australia, who is it? From Australia, Tyson Scott. From Costa Rica, Erika Urbina. From Belgium, Bruno Valentijn. From France, Alex Viau.
Alexis.
I'm coming. From South Korea, Ann Beats He. From Portugal and Germany, Eduardo de la Cerda. Receiving now the FIFA Master Diploma in alphabetical order from Gabon, Serge Assume. And Assume. From Morocco, Sarah Bilali. From Honduras and the USA, Luis Breve. From Peru, Dayorto Carrera. From India, Yash Vital Atul Choi. From Israel, Sana Darashva. From France, Grégoire Dade. Once again, Pacom Goik. From Zimbabwe, Violette Jouban. From India, Rishab Kapoor. From South Korea and Canada, Jane Lee. From Chile, Mr. Diego Martinez. From USA, Argentina, and Italy, Mr. Salvestrini. From Japan, Taizo Uchida. And last but not least, of course, from Mauritius, Kaitki Wage. Thank you very much. Congratulations to all of you, of course. And now we will move to the next award, which is the Madela Award. And for this award, I will give the floor to our director, Professor Denis Oswald.
Well, good afternoon, dear students. It's a pleasure for me to introduce the Alberto Madela Award. Alberto Madela was an Italian scholar who collaborated with the master for many, many years. He was mainly helping the students to prepare their projects. And unfortunately, he passed away unexpectedly. And we decided to create this award under his name to have him in our memory for all his contribution to the FIFA Master. And this award is for the best presentation done by the students during the project presentation. As I said at the opening of the presentations, the quality of the topics which had been prepared, or the papers which had been prepared by the student this year, were very high. And the same is valid for the presentation. We had very good presentation yesterday, and we discussed a lot to try to find which one was better than the other ones. And it was very difficult. Again, many could have done it. At the end, we could not even break the tie we had between two groups, two presentations. And therefore, we decided that the members of the two groups would receive the Madela Award for this year. The first group to receive the Madela Award is the group 6. They are not referees, but they are blowing the whistle and are whistleblowers impacting the integrity of sport governance, with Sarah Bilali from Morocco, Yash Chung from India, Igor Markovich from Italy and many other countries, and Taizo Uchida from Japan. So this group is the first one to receive the Madela Award, and the other group also receiving the Madela Award is group 7, Balancing Books and Balls, an athlete-centric approach to women football, with Bonnie Mugabe from Rwanda, Tyson Scott from Australia, Erika Urbina from Costa Rica, and Bruno van Hellemont from Belgium. So congratulations to these 8 students, but again, the other presentation and other papers were very good as well.
Many thanks, Vincent, for giving the diplomas virtually. Many thanks to Denis for presenting the Madela Award. Congratulations, of course, to the FIFA Master postgraduates and to the winners of the Madela Awards. Today, we have another special guest, who is Mr. Martin Kasboom, President of the FIFA Master Alumni Association. Our friend Martin from Austria. Martin completed the FIFA Master in 2013 after already co-founding a sports marketing and events agency. Through his agency's activities and his work with sports organizations, he has made a name in the sports industry despite his still young age, which I will not mention, of course. Martin, es ist schön, dich bei uns zu haben. Du hast das Wort, bitte.
Vielen Dank, lieber Pierre. Dear class of 2020, congratulations. You did it. You have tracked through the initial nerves of arriving in Leicester, starting the program and meeting your classmates, finding out that you will have a final project that brings together people from various backgrounds and interests to somehow choose one topic you're all excited about. Getting a grip on all of the moving parts just in time to move to Milan and then get used to really setting all over again. You even experienced the joys of trying to find an apartment in Neuchâtel. You have come out on top of all of that now as full members of the FIFA Master alumni. As the president of the Alumni Association, I welcome you warmly to our ranks. There is something unique about you as a class though, something that distinguishes you from all the other classes that have arrived at this point before and that puts you in a very special place amongst the rest of the alumni. You have prevailed through adversity and circumstances that none of the other classes have had to surmount. Through the uncertainty, you have met deadlines, taken exams, and finished final projects, attending online classes, even if that meant waking up at 2 a.m. to do so because of the time changes. I admire you and respect you greatly for this, and I know many of my fellow alumni feel the same. In Barack Obama's graduation speech to the classes of 2020, one of his pieces of advice for graduates was to build a community. He said, no one does big things by themselves. And that is exactly what the alumni can be for you, your community. The flexibility and character you have shown in managing this ordeal on top of the already challenging program requirements has not gone unnoticed by the faculty and the alumni, and makes our reception of your class all more heartfelt. I encourage you to leverage the alumni network as you move forward in your respective careers. Reach out even if you have never spoken before. Take a chance. There is a thread that really unites us. The world of sport needs people with the worldliness, perseverance, and well-roundedness that characterizes your class now more than ever. Whether you know what is your next step, or if you're still searching, proceed with the awareness of how many of us are behind you. There is comfort in numbers, and I hope you realize that you are not alone in experiencing this uncertainty. Although this may feel like a tumultuous times, but there's also opportunity in crisis. You are here as successful graduates of the 20th edition of the FIFA Master, and I trust that a class as determined as yours will not give up until you find it. So this was my part for you guys for the 20th edition, but I'm also here in my role as a FMA president, and being an FMA president, although I'm leaving after 6 years being in the committee, there is always a spot reserved for the current class. And we had elections and the results are out. But before I announce who is going to jump on board of the FMA committee, I'd like to just point out briefly what the FMA is about. We officially represent the alumni of the FIFA Master. We try to promote and raise the awareness and the profile of the FIFA Master within sports organizations on a worldwide basis. We are here to create and maintain networking platforms to enable the alumni to keep in touch in the best possible way, to promote business and employment opportunities and exchange of information among the members of the FMA. And of course, last but not least, we serve an active role in the strategic planning of the future of the Masters. So therefore, and this is my conclusion, I'm happy to announce that Serge Azum will be joining as the 20th edition representative in the FIFA Master Alumni Committee. Congratulations, Serge. Serge did not need this reserved place since he had the second most votes of all people out there for voting. So I wish you, Serge, all the best in your role within the FIFA Master Committee, as well as you guys from the 20th edition, all the best in your future. I thank you very much. It was my pleasure.
Thank you very much, Martin.
Thank you very much to Martin, who's been a great FMA president and a good friend in addition to that. We really hope to see you soon in Neuchâtel for any reason, anytime. You'll be most welcome. Now it's the postgraduates' turn, and we'll listen to a speech by two class representatives. I would possibly just ask them not to speak together at the same time. One of them is Kevin Goko from the Philippines, who is a specialist of futsal, among other things, and an entrepreneur. The other one is Alex Vio from France, whose range of competence includes banking, football, tennis, and even NASCAR races. Alex and Kevin, you have the floor.
Thank you so much. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. It's a great honor and a privilege to have been selected with Kevin to be the speaker for this closing ceremony of the FIFA Master 20th edition. I don't know if the choice of having Kevin and I as your class speaker has more to do with our age difference than anything else. Nevertheless, we're really proud to express our feelings regarding this really special FIFA Master edition. Through attending this Master, we all came with different expectations, goals, and dreams. We learned from each other and went through an historic event that people will talk about for many years to come. This year, we have had the chance to learn from each other in and outside the classroom, through everyone's life experience and talents. We clearly recall last summer when opening the class list on Excel that was sent to us, and our first reaction was, wow, 32 people representing 28 different nationalities. How can we all possibly get along? This start of Leicester was full of surprises. We were surprised to learn that Jin Lee was actually not a man, but a woman. That Rishab, who lived with Kevin in G1, and Ziad, who ended being his group mate, are actually two different peoples. And that someone like Igor was only 23 years old, really. FIFA Master alumni who came before us always say that Leicester is the honeymoon period. And indeed it was. We all hit it off with sharing experiences right from day one. From our first drinking session at Soul Point to the intense cardio workouts at our nearby fitness gym, the walkabout. Who can we forget this wonderful night on the charming streets of Leicester that include scroll down Birthclose Lane, celebrating Sarah's birthday, dancing in a parking lot to Gangnam Style at 3 a.m. in the morning, and to the get-together at the most happening nightclub in the city, G2 Liberty Court. In Leicester, we learned some fantastic things about each other. We learned that Bonnie owns football. We learned of Tyson's uncanny, Hosey ability to barbecue his classmates with his hilarious memes. Gustav's culinary inability to prepare bread in an oven without setting off the fire alarm. And Laura's great knack for confusing us all on nuances between union and league, and that the Scrum is not a song from a hip-hop album. We learn about all the Mauritian culture and the famous saying, Pura Vida. We also had ourselves scratching our heads on Greg's great philosophical realization of the concept of consensual. At the end, final note, we would like to recall the coaching genius of Patron with a victory record of 0 wins together with his famous Peruvian goalkeeper who that made the FIFA Master loss against Liverpool for the first time in the history of the program. Last year went by fast. Before we knew it, the short Christmas holiday brought us to the big city of light, Milan. Milan was different. If last year was our honeymoon period, I will call Milan the real marriage itself, where we encounter a lot of heights and a number of challenges low. Who can forget all the wonderful Milanomanias, capped off by an incredible Birria Moretti party at the IFC house that almost left Rishab, Mahmoud, Taizo, and Han homeless on the street. From learning about incredible Italian cuisine, such as the Dino Ruta's 4+2 special pizza, or the delicious wrap at Babo Bing. Do you like it? And what about the week-long birthday celebration of one classmate where we learned Bruno, Yash, and Kevin have no future in banking? We also discover Serge's uncanny ability to sit at the very front of the class and sleep without the professor ever noticing that he has dozed off. And thanks to Professor Morelli, we will always remember Evita as earning before income taxes, depreciation, and amortization, EBITDA. Now I will pass on the floor to Kevin to continue the story.
Around 3/4 of the way through Milan, our edition became different and unique from the 19 previous editions of the FIFA Master. COVID happened, and as a result, we had to complete our management classes online. And honestly, it spiraled downhill from there, to the point where one night, I followed our class rep, Stephanie Holmes, and 3 other crazy Aussies into 2 cabs for a 4 a.m. dash across the border to Switzerland. Mind you, this was after me telling everyone in the AFC house to relax, sleep, and drink up because everything will be okay. Yes, I too panicked. That cab ride ended in a quarantine chalet that had all of us going crazy about life, crazy about scary monsters in a dark basement, and crazy about a handsome Portuguese man called Edu. The next week, most of us had to fly home to encounter an additional 14 days of isolated quarantine. And at some point, it was a challenge making sense of where we were all going while trying to understand the intricacies of international taxation, caste decisions, the state of the job market, and the new normal of keeping a straight face while wearing a shirt, a tie, and underwear during Zoom calls. And no, don't get any funny ideas, I'm not wearing any underwear right now. But instead of dwelling on what might have been, we look at this entire experience as a tremendous blessing and an opportunity for all of us. Why? Because what we went through this year has taught us extremely valuable lessons that no lecture or guest speaker could ever teach us. So what are these lessons? First lesson, life is full of setbacks. Let's face it, life is not easy. It's best we learn this earlier rather than later. We all signed up for this course expecting to be together in Neuchâtel, expecting to be networking and interviewing for jobs, expecting to be crawling into this ceremony hungover from the previous night's celebration. Life will always throw you curveball when you least expect it. Second lesson, when you encounter setback, they will only define you and make you stronger. And I think we showed that after what has happened to us this year, doing our modules online, crossing the finish line and completing our final projects across multiple time zones, all teaching us that setbacks do make us stronger. It was surely not an easy challenge to take on, but we made it. And as Pele once said, the more difficult the victory, the greater the happiness in winning. And that leads to the third important lesson. We can't deal with these setbacks alone. They are best tackled as a team. The great beauty of this class is the incredible amount of teamwork and solidarity that we all shared as a group. When it came to exams, the selection of final project topics, job placements, elections for class reps, we did not compete against each other. Instead, we supported and helped each other out to make sure that no one was left behind. This was most evident when our class rep in Italy, Igor, stayed behind to make sure that everyone was safe and taken care of, thinking about other people's welfare before himself. Given this spirit of solidarity from my experience, being the oldest person in the class, we are indeed a rare and special group. So on behalf of the class, I would like to thank everyone on the scientific committee for putting us all together. Because modesty aside, you guys really hit the ball out of the park in selecting who would be part of this special 20th edition FIFA Masterclass. In a world that is increasingly leading towards hate, authoritarianism, and division, the FIFA Master 20th edition is a successful social experiment, if you can call it so. It's a shining beacon that shows how 32 people from different races, religions, ages, backgrounds come together as equals in one loving family to achieve a common purpose. This is an experience and a valuable lesson that we can all take with us as we leave these virtual halls and head out to make sports in the world a better place. So congratulations to our FIFA Master family. We love you all with all our heart. And to end, I'd like to draw inspiration from the two Alexes in the course, Alexi and Matsuo. But at the end of the day, on one hand, this is not the end, but on the other hand, this is the start of another wonderful journey together. Stay safe, everyone. We will see each other again soon, giving you all one big BVH, and no, that is not one big Bruno Van Hellemont, but one big virtual hug. See you all soon. Love you all.
Many thanks to, I say Alex, you say Alexi. I'm using probably the French thing. And many thanks to Alex and to Kevin, whose words lightened this little ceremony. Ceremony, which is now time to close. I would like to thank again all of those who made it possible for this 20th edition of the FIFA Master to be delivered in the best possible way, given the circumstances, of course. I would like to thank all of those who contributed to this ceremony, in particular for the technical part, which is, for me, still a mystery, but it worked. Many thanks to all of those who joined us today. Congratulations to our great postgraduates. It's been a pleasure being with you. And I would like to conclude this ceremony with, again, a quote from Arsène Wenger. He said, "The only moment of possible happiness is the present. The past gives regrets, and the future gives uncertainties. So let's be happy now, and I wish you all many occasions for happiness in the future. Enjoy wherever you are and whatever you will do right now. I really wish to see you soon in Neuchâtel, where my garden and my cellar are waiting for you, as I'm waiting for you. If around, please call. You'll be welcome to Neuchâtel, the place you could not really visit during this 20th edition. Thank you very much for being with us. Take care. Bye-bye. Vincent wants me to say something which he didn't tell me before. Is you can stay on the network. What is it? If you want to be together for a while, you can stay tuned and just do however you feel like. The channel will be open for as much as you want, says Nejat. Thank you.